Wizeonez. G Prospect up in this bitch, nigga. 817, nigga. Eastside 817, host, they twisted off this purple smoke. I got this stress up on my chest and I just gotta let it go. Niggas ain't hearing me, bitches ain't acting right. It's time to step up, so I gotta get this bread right. Cause y'all bitches gonna feel me, and if I don't cry, y'all gonna kill me. And I gotta surprise, cause I'm a real G. These niggas ain't even real, cause I only trust me.
Whoa, what's good? Hey, what's poppin'? It's GGDaPlug100K. We back for another one. It's 7 in the morning. How y'all doing? I just woke up this morning. I'm ready to go. Now here we go. We here, man. We seeing what's on the timeline right now. And man, it's just looking crazy. I just got done watching that with that Diddy, The Reckoning. Was it on the YouTube? Was it on Netflix or something like that? Man, look, let's just talk about it. Let's just get into this right now. I'm gonna say this off rip. I'm not here to dog nobody. I'm not here to cheer on nobody's downfall. This just how it looks to me from the sidewalk. Street vision, not industry vision. I watched this documentary and yeah, what really caught my attention wasn't even the footage. It was the timing. I'm gonna get into that, y'all. So timing always tells a story before people do. See when you from the streets, you learn early. Problems don't usually start loud. They start quiet. They start quietly, man. That's just how it works. And behind closed doors with paperwork and you know what I'm saying? That's just how it go. And let's talk about the liquor play. So we're just gonna get into that. We're gonna get into the liquor play. Let's go ahead and play this right here. I want y'all to see this because a lot of these legal troubles that I'm trying to get y'all to understand, a lot of his legal troubles to me have something to do with this liquor play he was trying to make. So I'm just trying to put that on your brain. I'm not defending Diddy. I'm not saying he didn't do it. I ain't saying he innocent, but I'm saying maybe there's some context that as to why Diddy got wrapped up in this legal situation in the first place. Let's just check it out, man.
Combs is no stranger to legal maneuvering. As a businessman, he was involved in a lot of different industries: music, media, fashion, and of course, liquor. And those endeavors didn't always go smoothly. As Combs faces federal criminal charges plus ongoing civil sexual assault lawsuits, we are taking a closer look at a lawsuit involving one of his business partnerships that some believe may have helped kickstart his apparent downfall. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Attorney Tony Busby says that he expects to file separate lawsuits on behalf of more than 100 alleged sexual abuse victims, including people who say they were minors at the time they were abused at the hands of Sean Combs. Now, this, of course, comes as Combs faces accusations from the federal government as well. He was arrested in New York 3 weeks ago. He's been behind bars ever since at the infamous Metropolitan Detention Center. Now, it's expected that this week his attorneys will try for a third time to get him bail. This is because the case is now going to a new judge. But remember, the government accuses him of sex trafficking and running a criminal enterprise with basically the sole purpose of satisfying his sexual fantasies. Combs and his legal team, though, have adamantly denied any and all allegations of criminal activity and sexual abuse, saying the people filing all of these lawsuits are just looking for a payday. Combs' lead counsel says that Combs is looking forward to proving his innocence in court and that he may even get up on the stand and testify. Beverage company. It's based in London. It is a...
Okay, so that's the company he was working with, Diageo. They're the same company that make like Crown Royal and all those little drinks y'all be seeing in the liquor store. So that's who he was messing with. He was messing with Diageo. So let's just check this out and see where this is going real quick.
Major distributor of Scotch whiskey, producing major brands like Johnny Walker, but they also have other liquors in their portfolio over the years. A lot of brands: Cîroc, Smirnoff, Bailey's, Tanqueray. They also own Guinness. And I want to talk about 2007 because in 2007, Sean Combs signed a deal with Diageo to promote Cîroc vodka. Many of you might remember those campaigns. But then in 2013, he purchased the brand DeLeón tequila with Diageo. This was an interesting partnership. And
so y'all listen closely. So he was, like I said, before this case started, he had this going on. I'm not trying to, like say he's innocent or nothing, but at the end of the day, I'm just on the fence looking at things from a different perspective. I'm like, maybe Diddy, there's something to this, that Diddy lawsuit for racism type deal that, you know what I'm saying? I know everybody's geeking off the documentary and all, but I'm trying to, I want to dig into the source of this. I want to get into what happened, what really just launched this whole investigation. So let's check it out.
Combs claimed that when Diageo bought competing tequila brands like Don Julio and Casamigos, they stopped giving DeLeón as much attention. And Combs said it was because he was black. And he didn't just imply that, he stated that in a lawsuit. I want you to take a look at some of the first lines of this lawsuit that he filed against.
See, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I watched the documentary, but there's a lot of things that just caught my attention, you know what I'm saying? And so let's talk about that liquor play. Cîroc, DeLeón, big money, corporate money. When a black man becomes the face of a billion-dollar brand, but not the owner, that's where the friction lives at. Diddy didn't just promo, he helped build that market, culture, access, influence. And what he said, y'all treating me different, and he took that to court. And that's when things shifted. The street rules. When you sue the plug and the plug don't forget, man, that's how it go. I'm telling you, I ain't saying nobody plotted anything. I ain't saying nobody set up anybody up. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying what the corporate beef, when corporate beef starts, everything attached to your name gets louder. Old stories resurface, new eyes appear, energy changes. That's not a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. That's a power dynamic. You know what I mean? There's things going on beneath the surface that I just think everybody's overlooking. You know what I'm saying? From the street view, it looks like once you challenge a corporation publicly, you no longer are just an artist. You are a liability, and liabilities don't get protected. They get examined.
Diageo. It was filed on behalf of Combs Wine and Spirits LLC. It reads, quote, cloaking itself in the language of diversity and equality is good for Diageo's business, but it is a lie. While Diageo may conspicuously include images of its black partners in advertising materials and press releases, its words only provide the illusion of inclusion. As Combs Wines and Sean Combs have experienced firsthand, Diageo, by and through its parent company's chief executive officer, Ivan Menendez, has proven unwilling to treat its black partners equally, even when explicitly required by contract to do so. The complaint goes on to say that rather than equal treatment, Diageo has treated Mr. Combs and his brands worse than others because he is black. Diageo has typecasted Cîroc and DeLeón, apparently deciding they are black brands that should be targeted only to urban consumers. Diageo's president of reserve and new business, Stephen Rust, directly acknowledged the company's racist.
Okay, so we get it. I got the point. Diddy was dealing with a racist company, and everything started to go down from there. You know, you notice how once that Diageo, I'm gonna tell y'all again. Now, again, everything is alleged. I just want to let y'all know everything is alleged. Everything already public. I'm just connecting the dots and how a hustler would. You know what I'm saying? Because hustlers understand pressure. And you notice how once that Diageo lawsuit in the news and everything else followed, stories people whispered before, now the headlines, they don't mean anything. They're fake, right? Don't mean they true either. It doesn't mean they're all true. Doesn't mean they're all fake, right? It means the mic just got turned up. That's what it means. Street Logic 101. You can survive rumors when the money's flowing, but once the money relationship breaks, everybody just starts talking. And let's be real. Let's be clear. Corporations don't fight with fists. They fight with lawyers, narratives, and distances. They don't gotta do nothing illegal. They just stop protecting you, bro. And that's just exactly what happened to Diddy. They stopped protecting them, and protection is real.
or episodes, they allegedly cut entire sections that were considered too explosive to air.
Everything couldn't make was 4 episodes.
Right.
So it was a lot. You had to pick and choose things.
And one of the most controversial claims never made it on screen involves something the internet has been whispering about for years: alleged underground tunnels connected to Diddy's properties. Now, according to 50 Cent, Netflix forced him to remove material he believed was critical to understanding the full scope of allegations surrounding Diddy. Now, one of the most controversial rumors circulating online involves alleged underground tunnels connected to properties linked directly to Sean Combs. Now, these claims have continued to resurface in online forums, conspiracy threads, and speculative discussions. High-profile mansions, historical precedents.
With Google Play Games, you can
The feds found, you see what I'm saying? See, this Diddy stuff gets deep, bro. Like, I'm telling y'all, this shit gets deep. It is, y'all think it's about I mean, like I said, shout out to the victims, you know, I'm whatever, I'm sorry, whatever happened to y'all, but this thing is deeper than what happened to the victims and the sexual stuff. Like, Diddy got some whole other shit going on that they don't want to talk about. Why y'all don't think that boy didn't get that much time and he's gonna probably get released early? You know, somebody's gonna either pardon him, Trump, somebody gonna get him out, because you know why? He knows too many secrets. He knows too much about these people. He knows entirely too much. He got so much dirt, and either they're gonna knock his ass off or they're gonna free him. But one of the two, they can't just keep him locked up on that yard for too long. I mean, he's talking to people. I mean, there's no telling who like you said, he's sending out letters to Netflix and stuff like that. He still got his lawyers and everything like that. So, you know, we just got to stay tuned and look at what's going on in the bigger picture of things, man. Y'all, you know what I mean? For real, for real.
Powered by Wizeonez 3 and TTV. You rocking with the best. If you know, you know.
play unlocked. Unlock bigger screens and better controls.
Internet pat.
That boy, you know, your boy is connected to the Illuminati, man. That's all I can say. I can't even say. I'm just telling y'all, bro, like he's connected to something bigger. How is he getting these deals? How does he know these people? Y'all got to ask yourself these questions. Like, how do these people know this nigga? You know what I'm saying? For real. You know what I mean? Like it's a trip how things are going, bro. Like, I just, you know, how did they get these connections? They talk about his mom, they talk about all that, but the documentary, one thing the documentary won't talk about is how Diddy got on, how he know all these people, how he really in bed with all these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't gonna talk about all that. So let's be clear. Let's look at it like this. Okay, so now about the prison part. What happened in court is what happened to court. Changes, charges, convictions, sentencing, appeals. I ain't here to relitigate nobody case, but I will say this. When the system decide it's time, it moves fast. And when it moves, it don't care about your legacy. It don't care nothing about all that. 60 months ain't about music, ain't about hits. It ain't about fashion. That's about power shifting. There's a power shift going on in the industry, and everybody knows it. And power shifts usually happen when the money disputes, and you know, and that's what happens after money disputes and not before. You know what I'm saying? For sure. From the street side, this don't look like one bad moment. You know what I'm saying? This looks like business beef, corporate fallouts, then everything else hitting the surface. That's how storms work. This has been going on for years. Diddy's been getting into it with these folk for years. And listen, I'm not saying Diddy innocent. I'm not saying Diddy guilty. I'm saying the sequence does matter. Sequence always matters in the streets. That's how we look at it. Sequence has to matter. You know what I mean? For real. Sequence has to matter. You know what I mean? Because if this was just about behavior, why now? Why after? If this was about his behavior, they could have got Diddy a long time ago for all the stupid shit he's been doing. They could have got Diddy a long time ago. Why they just now putting out the documentary? Why are they waiting so long? What took them so long to lock him up, man?
Shut the fuck up.
Powered by Wizeonez 3 and TTV. You rocking with the best. If you know, you know. And because if this was about behavior, where there's lawsuits, liquor deals falling apart, public accusations, racism in business, money relationships ending, why then? That's a fair question. Y'all gotta give me some props for that. That's gotta be a fair question that I'm asking.
And recognition. The lack of transparency fuels speculation. When important information is withheld, speculation fills the vacuum. And when Netflix decides it's too dangerous to air, that's where the real story starts. This may not be.
It's because that boy connected to something that's too, that boy connected to something that they don't want to talk about. Because if they mention him and they talk about him too much, they're going to talk about themselves. Like I said, the underground tunnels.
About protecting anyone, it may be about protecting Netflix. Now 50 said Netflix capped the Diddy documentary at 4 episodes. That decision forced him to cut a major allegation that was originally exposed during production. Now one of the removed storylines also allegedly involved a claim connected to Tupac's fiance, and an implication that Netflix clearly did not want to touch. Now here's the key detail people are missing. 50 Cent didn't say the allegations were false. He didn't say it was debunked. He said Netflix wouldn't let it air. Now that distinction does matter.
Everything couldn't make the. Was 4 episodes.
Right.
So it was a lot. You had to pick and choose things. Like even in an area where he chooses to date people who he knows previously dated someone. He has a baby by a woman that was dating Tupac.
Wow.
To add to it, but we had to cut it down so it couldn't.
For time.
What you want to do is
Yo, 50 is savage, bro. 50 is savage. He found a way to get some of that stuff still out. 50 is something else, man. 50 is a fucking problem, bro. Like, I'm not gonna count. Like, 50 had me laughing the entire time. Like, 50 is crashing out on Diddy. And you know why he's talking about Diddy? Because Diddy not only messed with Tupac baby mama, but he also messed with Big Fifth baby mamas. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know how it went down, man. They say he took Fifth baby mama out and did some things. So, you know, that their beef goes and runs very deep. But that we're gonna say that for another video. Street dudes always ask who benefit, not emotionally. Financially, structurally, that's all I gotta look at. Who's benefiting from this Diddy stuff? Well, now we see 50 benefiting, but who's all benefiting from it? Like, who's been, you know, you gotta look at it. Jay ain't benefiting from it. Shit, you see how this the quietest I done seen Jay. Beyonce's not benefiting from it. Everybody knows she used to fuck around it with Putty. Everybody knows that she used to mess with Diddy. Everybody knows she used to be on that Diddy juice. She was upstairs and making the band. What's his name? That boy Chopper exposed that she was upstairs eating the cheesecake that the whole people had to go find out, where they had to walk and grab a cheesecake. The episode of Making the Band, where they had to go grab a cheesecake, they was bringing that cheesecake to Beyonce. They said Beyonce was the one that wanted the cheesecake. They said Diddy doesn't even eat cheesecake like that. They said Beyonce was upstairs wanting the cheesecake. So, hey, you know what I'm saying? That's not coming from me. That's coming from the industry talk. You know what I'm saying? It's GGDaPlug100K, man. But we're gonna wrap this up though. Let's keep it real. When a black module starts saying y'all exploiting me, and that makes people uncomfortable, especially when paperwork is involved. At the end of the day, the situation feels bigger than one man. I'm gonna just tell y'all that right now. And it feels like culture versus corporations, ownership versus branding, power versus influence. And when them collide, somebody's gonna get crushed, unfortunately. I ain't celebrating it, and I ain't denying nobody pain. I ain't dismissing allegations. I'm just saying the streets see layers and not headlines. And before the folks rush to judgment, and y'all rush to judging Diddy and rush to, you know, cape and cope for every single victim that's out here, zoom out, look at the money, look at the timing, look at who stopped protecting who. And that'll tell you more than any clip that you're gonna watch on YouTube, fam. That's all I'm saying. Y'all think Diageo lawsuit was the real domino? Do y'all really think that Diageo lawsuit was it? Or do y'all think everything just happened independent of that? Talk to me in the comments. This is Wizeonez 3T TV. It's street logic. You know what I'm saying? We ain't taking no sides, just perspective, and we out. It's Wizeonez 3T, GGDaPlug100K.
G prospect up in this bitch, nigga. 817, nigga. Eastside 817, host, they twisted off this purple smoke. I got this stress up on my chest and I just gotta let it go. Niggas ain't hearing me, bitches ain't acting right. It's time to step up, so I gotta get this bread right. Cause y'all bitches gonna feel me, and if I don't cry, y'all gonna kill me. And I gotta surprise, cause I'm a real G. These niggas ain't even real, cause I only trust me.